Motion detector. When I was in 7th grade, I attended Ringdall Junior High School. That year, the Ringdall Rams had the best football team in the district, maybe even the state. My older brother Ryan was in 9th grade and the star quarterback. I looked up to him. I was nowhere near the player he was. His team went undefeated, winning the league convincingly. The following year, our team took a real hit. Instead of being the best, we were the undisputed worst team in the league, finishing 0-6 without scoring a single point. The year started with high hopes, but on the opening kickoff of the first game, we all knew it was going to be a long season. Our starting running back had dislocated his shoulder. I was a second-string quarterback and didn't play much, though I occasionally got in at defense at safety. I remember thinking I was a big hitter, until that first game against our rival Tyee. I tried to tackle Greg Barr, who was a man among boys. He had already crossed the goal line when I took my best shot at him. He stood there looking down at me, unfazed, while I bounced off like a tennis ball and dropped to the ground. A few games into the season, the coach came up to me in the locker room and told me he appreciated that I hadn't complained about the lack of playing time at quarterback. Then he said I was going to start the next game. Truthfully, I hadn't been upset. I thought I might be as good as the starter, but I didn't believe I was head and shoulders above him. Being second string didn't feel like an injustice. The next game, I started at quarterback, just as the coach had promised. A game or two later, the center, Ronnie, and I had trouble with the exchange. We fumbled the snap 2 or 3 times in a row. When we got back to the huddle, I said, "Ronnie, what's going on?" He didn't like the accusatory tone and just shrugged, mumbling something I couldn't make out. A couple of plays later, I dropped back to pass and got pancaked flat on my back. It felt like no one even blocked as I lay there wondering, did I just get hit by Muhammad Ali? After a few seconds of dizzily staring at the cloudy sky, I slowly got up, walked back to the huddle, and called the next play, as if nothing had happened. Late in the season, there was finally a positive play. It was 4th down on our own 30-yard line. We lined up to punt, but when the punter received the ball, he threw it to a wide-open player streaking down the sideline. Our entire bench erupted, jumping and yelling as our teammate raced toward the end zone. At the last second, a defender dove and made a shoestring tackle at the 1-yard line. We were bummed we didn't score, but still excited. It was the first time all season we had crossed the 50-yard line. Our offense ran onto the field with a sense of optimism we hadn't felt all year. We were 1 yard from scoring, and I was in at quarterback. If you've seen The Longest Yard, the next play lived up to the title. I took the snap and turned to hand the ball off when a defender wrapped me up, forcing my arms together. I fumbled, watching the ball fall helplessly to the ground. It bounced and rolled before the other team recovered. I don't remember feeling angry, just resigned. Here we go again. What else did I expect? At the end of the school year, I learned the truth about the play where I got sacked in cold blood. While I wasn't even paying attention, a mutiny was happening behind my back. The center had convinced the rest of the line to let the opposing team rush through unblocked and take a free shot at me. By then, we were all friends, but hearing that hurt more than the hit itself. I didn't like knowing I hadn't had my team's support. Anyway, when the long season was finally over, I decided to hang up my football cleats for good and focus on my other 2 sports, basketball and baseball. After I turned in my pants and jersey, I remember feeling a sense of freedom as I dashed out of the locker room, crossed the blacktop courtyard, and headed for home.